Hi everyone, welcome to Arki PhD. My name is Megha and here I share information on PhD admission process, planning PhD years and beyond in a clear and concise format. Today's video deals with fundamental question asked by many research scholars and even postgrad students, that is, how to identify a good academic conference. So let's start by first understanding why to even attend a conference. Well, a good reputed conference provides a perfect platform for you to get out of your study zone and introduce yourself as an upcoming serious researcher by presenting your work and most importantly, by networking. That is, establishing connection with fellow peers and well-established researchers who you never know might turn out to be your future co-authors or collaborators and even external examiners. So begin by first revisiting your literature. Many a times, as a new PhD scholar, we tend to overlook that some papers are actually conference proceedings. We also forget to check reference list of journal papers that might have good quality citations from many conference papers. This helps in creating the initial list. Once a list is created, here are 9 checkpoints for identifying the quality of a conference. In today's video, I will be elaborating on each of the same. So let's begin. Point number 1. Ask your supervisor or senior PhD colleague. Ask them what are the well-established conferences in your field. Note down these conferences which are regularly attended by professors. Get information on the ones for which PhD scholars get short fundings from the institute. Also, ask their overall experience of attending such conferences, like getting their abstract selected, funding application papers, conference crowd, etc. Point number 2, check conference background. Look at conference theme, whether it is focused or so broad that every topic under the umbrella of architecture or urban planning can fall under it. Check the credibility and reputation of the organizing committee or university. Look at the list of scientific committee. The members are well-known and active researchers or not. Google information on key speakers from the previous conferences if the new ones are not yet announced. Look at past attendees or paper presenters if data is available. Also see for how many years this conference has been organized. Although this is not important and depends on your cases, especially if your topic is new and upcoming. Get an idea on the size of the conference, whether it is a small, medium, or a conference that attracts a large set of people. It's good to make a note for the purpose of your conferencing strategies. Another important point is to look carefully at the conference website. See if it looks bizarre or have spelling or grammatical mistakes, or organizer's contact information is missing. See if location is at a very unusual place with no local university. These are some of the red flags indicating a predatory conference. Moving forward, point number 3, check publication status. If available, download and read previous conference papers. Note the quality and titles of papers. Carefully investigate about the collaborating journals or publishers as claimed by organizers. Make sure that these do not fall under the shady or predatory categories. Please read between the lines, where it says, only select high-quality papers will be published with the journal. If so, check the percentage of papers accepted in conference and finally published in journal. You will get an idea of the selection rate. Also see if conference is asking for a full paper article or only abstract is going to be published. It basically depends on your field. For instance, in my area of research, there are several reputed international conferences that ask for fresh ideas in the form of extended abstracts. Getting selected under this category and having a chance to be a speaker is considered an achievement. On the other hand, there are many highly competitive conferences where even a poster selection is prestigious as a PhD scholar. So you need to take your own decision here by either discussing with your supervisor or any senior. Point number 4, check peer review status. See if peer review period is very short. For instance, submission date is 15 June and author notification date is 30th June. Majority of time it is kind of a red flag. Look if technical committee is small but conference is accepting a large number of papers for publication. Or worst, there is no mention of any technical committee at all. Further, if you have received feedback on your paper and it do not say anything insightful about it, it clearly indicates a low quality peer review status. Point number 5, call for paper or abstract. In a sense that usually and not again always, this call happens at least 8 to 12 months before the said conference date. And these calls are rarely given as personalized email invitations to anyone, especially not PhD scholars. But if your topic is relatively new and you are being invited to talk or present poster by someone you know or met during expert interview stage, then you can take your call here. Besides paper or poster, as a PhD scholar, you can also organize a panel if such invitation is provided in your conference. It becomes something new and more challenging, especially if you're thinking to do in an international conference abroad. But at an international conference located in your home country, you can give it a try. For details on this one, I have provided useful links in the description box below. Point number 6, meritorious student scholarship. Many well-funded conferences may provide such scholarships, which is highly encourageous and super cool. These scholarships can fund your travel plus accommodation or may provide other benefits like free registration for next conference. There are also cash prizes for best paper or poster award in student category. So do check out these links in conference website. If possible, read the previously awarded papers for getting an idea on the same. Point number 7, check networking opportunities. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, you should be prepared while attending a conference to take full advantage for networking as well. So see if there are some lunch or dinner open sessions or even a book launch or poster sessions, which usually have spaces for casual conversations and snacks. A couple of good workshops organized in partnerships with reputed local organizations are also places for networking. Or maybe everyone's favorite, city tours. Point number 8, conference communications. Again, these are small yet noteworthy hints on conference reputation. See if emails you are receiving from conference organizers are professional and clear. Make sure they don't appear to be sent by junior PhD scholars. Organizers are generally quite efficient in providing you timely updates. For example, if there is a delay in peer reviewing papers or there is an extension for paper submission, etc. It's always good if there is a minimum requirement to contact them. Usually, and not always, a good quality conference uses third-party paper submission portals like ConfTool and others. So do keep an eye on such hints. Point number 9, what if the conference is online, especially in case of an unprecedented situation like a pandemic? So this point is again not to check its reputation, but note down few important points. Check whether they are asking for pre-recorded presentation or a live presentation and prepare accordingly. Is the registration fee justified or it is overpriced? Remember, as a PhD scholar, when there are limited funding opportunities, you are entitled to request conference organizers to provide some concessions for the same. Also see if there are some break period with opportunity of socializing online. More on this in a separate video. Before I end this video, here are a few extra tools or resources for those of you who need further readings. Point 1, papercrowd.com. This is a kind of a Google for finding academic conferences across the globe. Just type in keywords related to your research topic. It will list down conferences along with last date of abstract submission. Although I personally never felt the need, but you can try. There also exists Web of Science Conference Proceeding Citation Index or CPCI for both science represented by S and social science and humanities represented by SSH. You can look at the H index for cross-checking the conference proceeding reputation. But again, these are for famous and large conferences. I personally never felt the need to use them. To go beyond the points mentioned in the video, there also exists an internationally recognized criteria for determining predatory conferences, originally created by Jeffrey Bells, an American librarian and library scientist best known for drawing attention to predatory publishing. Do check out the links to these that are provided in the description box below. So that's all from my side. I hope this video gave you some ideas to finalize conferences. I will be happy to receive any other questions or comments in the comment section below. Till then, happy conferencing. See you next time. Bye-bye.